I'm in the center of this massive body of water, the Pacific Ocean. Something incredible happened here about 800 years ago. In a seemingly unbelievable coincidence, two archaeological wonders just appeared in the Pacific. One, Easter Island, where seafarers erected giant stone heads. And the other, the even more enigmatic civilization that built a place called Nan Madol, a legendary complex of man-made islands and stone structures built right into the coral reef. That's where I'm headed.
My name is Albert Lin, and I look at the world in a unique way. I use 21st century technology to look back into the past.
Check that out, I can actually fly through the secret ancient world.
With lasers that scan deserts, strip away dense jungle canopy, and scour the oceans to uncover the hidden worlds beneath.
We're wading into uncharted waters. Now I have the military helping me find lost cities.
New discoveries in the most awe-inspiring places on Earth.
That's where pixels become reality.
That fill in the gaps in our story. Who we are, where we came from, and the brilliance that we're capable of.
Here we are in the 13th century.
This is carved out of the earth, huh?
This is the new golden age of exploration.
We know their secrets.
Pohnpei Island, Micronesia. One of the most isolated places on Earth. Almost 1,000 miles from the nearest landmass. It's taken 4 flights and over 28 hours of travel just to get here. Time to go. My contact is local historian Gus Kohler.
Thanks, brother.
How was the trip?
Amazing.
Good?
Yeah, amazing. What is Nan Madol?
Nan Madol was once the residence of the ruling South dynasty, about 600 to 800 years ago. It's an ancient city. You'd be amazed at the know-how that they had to build the city in the water.
I've heard it's an ancient wonder, rivaling Easter Island or Machu Picchu. But very little of it is still visible. So I'm bringing technology that will strip away the mangroves and reveal its scale. It's an explorer's dream.
We're superstitious people. We believe that it's invested by spirits. So we will have to, first of all, go through the king, or the Marquis, as they refer to, and ask for his protection and permission to enter the site. This is the custom that we do here. There's been rumors of people dying when they don't follow protocol.
Dying?
Yes,
This really happened?
it did.
So what do I have to do to get permission?
We will have to do what we call a sakao ceremony.
The sakao root is pounded on a special stone to create a powerful narcotic drink used for religious rituals. I know that other Pacific Islanders use sakao in a similar way. I have to drink that.
The purpose of our presentation before our king is to ensure that the spirits of our ancestors welcome you when you visit Nan Madol. Albert?
I mean, my heart's pounding right now.
My whole mouth is numb. Like when you go to the dentist, I can barely feel my tongue right now.
All who wish to enter Nan Madol must pay their respects. The spirits we're hoping to appease are those of the Saudalor, The legendary rulers who arrived here 800 years ago and held a mysterious power over the island's population, those who built Nan Madol.
We come here with a feeling of honor to be here in your land.
Thank you.
Ceremony complete. The full power of the cacao drink kicks in.
Yeah, I got you.
I see like double. It's intense. It's intense. But the most important thing is the king of this land said that he protects us, which means we're a go. So tomorrow, it's on. Nan Madol.
Into the ritual complex, we spot something familiar.
Here we have a cacao pounding stone. Remember from the cacao ceremony with the Nan Marquis? You can tell it because of the circular wear pattern.
So you're telling me that people used to sit around this stone and pound cacao right at the entrance to this complex? This is like a gateway sort of ceremony.
It's like a rite of passage in how you get to know people.
And this is the same thing that's been going on for centuries.
Yeah, at least centuries, if not 1,000 years.
At the very center, the true purpose of this stone monument is revealed.
This tomb housed the bones of the saddler, the leader at the time for the whole island.
Where were they found? Do you know?
Some of them were inside of the walls, between the rocks.
It wasn't a single body found here, but the partial remains of many people, perhaps spanning generations.
What do you know about the settlers?
The stories tell us that the settlers had a bit of a bad reputation, and they didn't exactly treat everyone so well.
And this is literally the heart of the whole complex.
That's right.
It sits within a huge tomb district at this end of Nan Madol, a Valley of the Kings on water.
You know, it's very different than the stone heads of Easter Island. But just like there, this place, right here, was built to honor the spirits of the dead. Spirits that the locals believe still reside here.
The tombs we can see are only a fragment of Nan Madol. Our LiDAR scans should reveal a whole lot more. Hidden, somewhere under half a square mile of tropical jungle, lies the ancient city of Nan Madol. We're laser scanning the area with LiDAR to create a blueprint of the city, to uncover its structures and help us understand why the Saddler Kings built it.
Hacking through the jungle, taking this massive drone and launching it from every point they could in a methodical grid pattern. It's going to take some time for the processing to finish so that we can remove the trees. But we've got the first scans in. Let's pull them in.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
It's pretty awesome, right?
That's amazing.
Even before we remove the trees, you get a sense of this network of geometric shapes that define the human structures, right? You can already see faintly here, 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 and then here's the main site that you took me to earlier. So you can already start to piece together this whole city, or what was once there.
It's a glimpse into an ancient city of tombs and temples.
See, what is this? Look how straight those lines are. You see that? Look at that. They're perfectly uniform.
It's such a regular shape that can't be natural.
That's incredible. I want to check them out.
The mangrove is really dense. So, I mean, there's no way for us to walk in there, you know, it's impossible. Unless you go by a boat.
We're headed back to Nan Madol now, this time by sea. This is how they would have
approached here hundreds of years ago.
I followed my GPS to the spot that we identified on the LiDAR scans.
Look at those. Can we get in right there? Wow, these are unreal. These are huge rocks. It's bigger than anything else I've seen here. I just can't wrap my head around how they would have got them here and then lifted them one upon another. It's just insane. I mean, each one of these boulders must weigh the amount of a couple of buses at least. Now, this is something beyond imagination. So weird.
The line of rocks takes me deeper into the mangroves.
It's enormous. And it goes on forever.
The man-made structure captured by the LiDAR is a seawall. Built on coral reef, it stretches for 1.25 miles.
It's almost like a giant fortress, more than a city.
We can now define the boundaries of the city on 3 sides. Entering through a break in the wall, there are hints of more ancient basalt buildings lining the main channel.
It's like a master mason designed the whole thing. But they didn't use mortar. They just placed everything in a perfect balance. Still intact, 800 years or so after reconstruction. It's getting very narrow here. We're looking for our passageway, but the mangroves have just grown everywhere.
Is it okay to enter this area?
It's too risky for you to get off.
Why is that risky?
In the afternoon time, there are spirits around these islands guarding these places. You don't want to get sick.
You know, in respect for the local traditions, I think we're gonna keep going.
This is where old school exploration ends. And tomorrow, my technology takes over. By stripping these trees away with our LiDAR, we'll see what this wall is protecting. We've discovered hints of what Nan Madol looks like. But the full extent of this mysterious city has been shrouded for centuries in island legend and mangrove forest. Technology can change that. The LiDAR scans are complete.
The hope here is that you're going to see Nan Madol as it was originally, before all these trees took over. We're getting a view of the entire site, because you can't see it unless you do something like this. This is the LiDAR before the trees have been removed. You ready for this?
Yes.
Look at that. on this island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
We can now digitally rebuild what Nan Madol may have looked like in all of its glory. A colossal seawall protects over 90 man-made islands, organized into a burial district and a residential zone, with temples and monuments signifying the power of the oppressive Sadalur rulers who lived here.
So we have a 3D digital model of the height of all of these different features. And from that, we can get a precise measurement based off of this actual data of how much volume of material this place took to build.
We begin with the single largest ruin in the city, the ceremonial tomb site I visited.
We've just looked at the main exterior wall as an initial calculation. What I've done here is just take a simple section, and from this we're looking at over 14,000 tons of basalt. That's for just the outside walls, not even the whole structure, and the tombs and stuff inside.
14,000 tons. It's crazy.
I know, right? Based on the LiDAR data, the amount of rock used to build the entire city is nearly 700,000 tons. It's ancient construction on an unimaginable scale. But where did those thousands of rocks come from? For centuries, it's been explained by magic. On the far side of the island is a basalt deposit that may hold the answer.
Is that it?
That's it. That's the baby.
It's a quarry like no other.
It just pokes straight out of the trees.
This is a quarry in the sky.
I think we can fly the drone right out of here and do a big pass around it. Ready?
I want to get a close look at this extraordinary volcanic mine. Incredibly, it looks as if it's been mined from the top. There must be a way that these ancient islanders climbed up and got the stones down.
I don't think we can make it all the way to the top. But there's a spot right in the middle of the mountain that we may be able to access. This way, maybe this way. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a 400-foot scramble that starts steep and quickly becomes almost vertical.
Be careful, Albert. Some rocks here, slippery.
This is where they got the rocks from.
Yep.
Pretty intense quarry.
This is the real deal, bro. We're almost there. All right.
50 feet from the summit, we reach what appears to be the main quarry site.
These are unreal. They look exactly like the ones in Nan Madol. The same hexagonal shape.
Yep.
This is like the stone log cabin hardware store for the island. They didn't have dynamite or anything like that back then. How would they actually break these off?
One of the theories is that you burn wood and you pour water in, it will crack.
Oh, it expands.
Yeah.
So they were like almost like material scientists back then.
Yes, engineers.
How much does one of these weigh?
The typical ones they use at Nan Madol is between 5 to 10 tons. But there are boulders that can weigh up to 50 tons.
How far is Nan Madol from here?
10 miles across the land straight.
10 miles that way?
Yes.
Just doesn't make any sense. Let's go a little further. I'm gonna try to see if I can get up there and get a view.
Okay, good luck.
You're not coming?
I'm not coming.
I'll be right back.
Be careful now.
People came all the way over here to the north side of the island, somehow climbed this mountain, broke off these massive stone pillars, and then transported them across the island. Just like on Easter Island, over 6,000 miles away, people here moved mountains of volcanic rock to build extraordinary monuments that they believed could connect them to the spirits.
This is perfect. You can see everything. The whole area. Maybe I can start to see exactly what route they might have taken with these rocks. No, I'm gonna look on the satellite images. Here, okay, so I think right here, on top of this mountain. They had to get the rocks all the way over to here, to Nan Madol. I couldn't imagine carrying a 5 or 10 ton boulder over that mountain behind me. Doesn't seem possible at all. Okay.
My view from the summit suggests an alternative route. A trail of mangroves leads straight into the ocean. And we know where there's mangroves, there's water.
The way that would be most logical is they might have broken these boulders off, thrown them down to the bottom of this quarry, and then somehow used the mangroves and the channels to get them out. If they could float them out to sea, maybe they would move them across the inside of that reef where the waves aren't so bad. And then it's a decision. Do you go north all the way around the island that way, or do you go south? I guess depends on the winds, the tides, and the distance. And actually, you know, honestly, like super sophisticated in terms of whatever engineering they had to come up with to make that possible.
At the moment, it's a theory. But there are intriguing legends that tell of a stone city of the dead beneath the waves. It's en route from here to Nan Madol, and it could provide evidence of how the city was really built.
We're headed to a site that has been described as an underwater city of the dead or of the gods, still inhabited today with spirits. You know, most locals, they won't even come here to fish because it's taboo. You know, we're wading into uncharted waters in some ways.
We're searching an area just east of Nan Madol, where the shallow reef drops away into the deep water.
You can start to see the outer walls in front of us. Off to starboard a little bit, 1 o'clock.
Our ladder can't penetrate water. So we're using downscan sonar, which can detect what's on the seafloor to a depth of up to 300 feet.
Here, as we're motoring along, making a grid pattern around the entrance of Nan Madol, the sonar is sending a ping straight down. It'll hit something and then return back like a reflection. Basically, these little blobs, just a school of fish right here.
I'm just looking for anything that might look man-made, something that's maybe geometric in nature.
After about 30 minutes of scanning,
look at that.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
A big spike. We're right on top of it now. You got seafloor, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, this spike in elevation right here, right underneath us. Whether it's man-made or not, that's why we're diving on it. Let's mark this point right here.
Straight on. Okay, we'll drop in close to the entrance to Nan Madol and then swim out looking for the structure. Okay.
Dive foot.
Is that thing motorized?
Should be, right? That's the next one.
Yeah.
That's the upgrade.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I was sitting in a hospital bed wondering if I'd ever walk again. And now, I'm about to don a scuba diving kit and drop into an ocean. I'm going to look for a lost city.
It's just barren down here. There's not a lot of fish. Oh, it's murky.
So if they see basalt rock down there, I mean, that's evidence that this place was man-made or man-built. Basalt rocks are volcanic rocks. They're not coral reefs. It's out of place if we find it here. Somebody brought it here.
We start our search grid close to the outer wall of Nan Madol.
That's Nan Madol right there. You can see the seawall.
Further from the wall, I spot something familiar.
Look, the same hexagonal stones right here. Incredible.
These basalt columns don't look like they're part of the construction. They're random, like they might have ended up here accidentally. We move away from the reef shelf to the deeper water, our key search area.
Check this out. This must be what we saw in the sonar. Oh man, it's got to be about 20 feet tall. They're kind of one after the other here. Just pumping up out of the seafloor in this very vertical direction. I really can't be sure this is natural or something man-made. Either way, it's spooky looking.
You know, it's pretty incredible down there. I did see piles of basalt rock closer to Nan Madol, and along the side of the wall are these huge pillars that just rise out of the depths like shadows of giants through this murky water. But it's, to me, inconclusive. You know, it could be natural forming reef or coral heads, or it could be basalt encrusted with coral. It's hard to say.
Whatever it is, it's weird.
Very, very strange down there. Very strange.
That's a huge column there. That's got to be at least 30 feet tall. Have you seen other coral pillars like this before?
This is the only place that I've seen pillars like that. I've never seen coral grow in a vertical column like that unless there's something for it to grow onto.
The strange vertical pillars remain a mystery, but are the likely source of the underwater city myth. The hexagonal columns lying on the seafloor may support the theory that the building blocks of Nan Madol were brought here by sea. If the architects of Nan Madol could sail giant rocks around the island, just how far could their kingdom have reached? We think that the giant basalt blocks of Nan Madol were transported by sea. I'm hunting for evidence that the islanders may have sailed further afield. 20 miles from here is a string of tiny islands called Ant Atoll.
I found only one report of this whole place. It was written from before the time I was born. And it describes something that I've got to check out that's just beyond the reef.
The head of the family who now protects Ant Atoll is Willie Hawley. He has the traditional title of Rosa.
Welcome to Ant.
Thank you. And your family's been on this island for a long time.
Over 100 years. That's what our clan is, the Stingray.
These are awesome. Oh, I need a tattoo.
This area of the island has been abandoned for decades. But as a boy, Rosa remembers seeing unusual stones here.
I don't know how you can find anything with all this undergrowth.
You're starting to see the basalt rocks here, yeah? That is not common for an atoll like this.
These are the same basalt rocks that I saw at Nan Madol. There's no quarry of basalt sitting out here somewhere in this
atoll, is there?
There is none.
This isn't the only intriguing remnant here of an ancient civilization.
All right, we're at it.
You found it?
Yeah. If you look, they're flat rocks, overgrown with trees and stuff. But if you brush it off and you take a look at it, it's Sakau stone.
Oh, I saw one just like this right at the entrance of Nan Madol. And the first thing I did was sit with the Nan Marquis through a Sakau ceremony, where stones were pounding just like this to make the Sakau. You can see this is so deep. This must have been hundreds of Sakau ceremonies.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands, maybe.
Yep.
Where did these stones come from?
I would say Pompeii.
So somehow the technology that they had in understanding the sea allowed them to bring huge boulders across waves and reefs and miles of ocean just to get here. Is it possible that these were the same people that built Nan Madol?
Has to be. I can't see any other reason why this would actually be here, unless there was a link between here and there. Here's another one, right here, bigger one. I think there probably would have been some type of a settlement here.
Wow, how big do you think this is?
That's the mystery.
Clearing this site by hand could take weeks. Our LiDAR scanner will digitally strip away some of the vegetation. Just like our scan at Nan Madol, if there's anything lurking beneath the undergrowth, this will find it.
The guys have processed all the data that I got from the scan out on Ant Atoll. And here it is. So I zoom in here, and this is the track that I walked. But I can actually kind of move down through the layers and clear away the trees a little bit. You can actually see this really incredible blueprint of this site. That darker area right there. These are Sakau stones. Those are the pounding stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In a circle, all around this one area. You can imagine how big of a ceremonial place this must have been, because I've only seen 1 or 2 Sakau stones next to each other. This is 6 right here.
20 miles away from Nan Madol, Ant Atoll was home to a huge ritual site, perhaps built by the very same people. It's evidence that Nan Madol had influence that stretched across the waves.
What's really incredible about this is that it's on a tiny speck of sand beyond the barrier reef, which means that what happened here happened elsewhere as well.
There are 25,000 other islands across the Pacific. Trade and culture traveled from island to island. But just how far did this ocean network reach? Nan Madol's architects were highly skilled seafarers, capable of moving rocks miles across the ocean. But could they have been part of a much bigger trans-Pacific movement? Anthropologist Ashley Meredith has uncovered some evidence that might help answer this question.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's quite a large field, eh?
It's amazing.
The outcrop that we're exploring is actually a gallery filled with ancient rock art.
It's creepy. Looks almost like a ghost. Look at that, there's a sword down there. How long ago were these carved?
This could be 1,000 to 2,000 years ago.
Okay, 2,000 years ago, that's the time when the story of Christ was happening. That's the time when the first emperor of China was building the terracotta army. And here, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, somebody actually carved this into this stone and contemplated their reality.
This rock art shows that Pompeii was an important cultural site, even before the settlers arrived.
Ready? This is my favorite.
Whoa. Wow. How did you find this?
Through oral history. There are stories here that talk about foreigners making these.
Foreigners?
Mm-hmm. Where these people came from, we can't be sure.
You see these anywhere else?
Similar in New Caledonia.
Wait. How far away is New Caledonia?
New Caledonia is about 2,000 miles from here.
2,000 miles?
Yep.
That's like, that's almost the distance between New York and LA.
Yes.
If I take images from a bunch of different angles, then I can use photogrammetry where you can add up the overlapping images and it creates a 3D model of the entire
That's
surface.
really cool.
Using the digital model, I can make the faint eroded carvings far more visible. Check this out. Is that
Oh my
awesome?
gosh.
I'm actually moving the virtual light across the features and make them pop out a little more. See?
Yep, that was a good one.
Right there?
Slowly. There.
Right there?
Yes, that's really cool. You can see more of the detail.
Let me just screen grab this.
All right.
So now I can pull the same thing up over here. Okay. This is the image from New Caledonia?
That's right.
Okay, so this is from here.
They have a lot in common.
You see, maybe I can actually do something even crazier. I can change the opacity. I can move it on top of the other image. Look at that.
Whoa, they're really similar.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's almost a perfect print, one of the other. I'm staring at these two images, and to me, it's just too similar to be a coincidence. How could something nearly identical pop up 2,000 miles away, but in a time when sailing across those distances must have been incredibly difficult? There's no GPS. It's just old school navigation.
Whether or not these two symbols were created by the same Pacific people, it's clear evidence that the ocean didn't isolate these cities and these cultures. It connected them. The settlers ruled for 400 years until they were overthrown. And within those centuries, their seafaring skills took them across the Pacific. Who knows? Maybe even as far as that other great civilization on Easter Island, over 6,000 miles away. Both left their mark set in stone. This lost city, built on water, is more grand and complex than I ever imagined. A seat of power for the ruling elite, part of a great network of people who traveled north, south, east, and west across the vast Pacific Ocean.
This place, it came from a meeting of peoples who sailed across the seas with skill and bravery beyond comprehension. And with them, they carried ideas, creating the ocean continent in a way, leaving traces of the human spirit in these massive, mysterious stone monuments.
The lost city of Nan Madol. It's more than an archaeological wonder. It's a monument to human possibility.